Hello everyone, and welcome to an exciting tutorial where we're going to be covering using the Python programming language to create video games. Video games, despite being fun and mostly for hobby, are actually some of the most complex and challenging things to code and program, especially in this day and age. So think about your favorite current generation games, something like Battlefield 4, Grand Theft Auto 5, or something like that, or maybe it's another game, but chances are all of these games that you might think of incorporate, first of all, just incredible graphics engines, impressive artificial intelligence, and pretty intricate physics, and that's just to start. Then obviously they've got plot lines and action and user friendliness and all of this. But all these things are actually really complex things to code, each in their own right, and then to make a really great video game you've got to combine all of those things. So naturally this not only makes game development a fantastic topic to consider when learning a programming language, but it also makes it a very challenging topic to tackle because you have to learn about all of these things at once. So this is where Python can come in, and it actually helps to make the experience quite nice. So Python is a fairly programmer-friendly or fairly newbie-friendly programming language, especially with its syntax. So even if you're not already an experienced developer in Python, or maybe you've never even programmed once in your life in Python, you should be able to at least follow along. But chances are, if you were to look at some code, besides understanding the purpose of functions and all of this, but you should be able to understand the syntax, what's happening. You've got while statements, and usually the while statement is pretty black and white. You understand what it's asking, an if statement, and that kind of thing. And then for loops, generally, unless they're written to be a little bit obfuscated, are generally easy to understand, or at least they can be written to be easily understood. So with that, it is somewhat expected that you have a basic understanding of programming, specifically with Python, throughout this tutorial series. However, if you don't yet know Python or any programming language, the series might be a bit of a challenge for you, but you should actually still be able to follow along. And if anything, you can always just copy the code. But you should be able to follow along and actually understand what's happening, because again, Python is pretty user-friendly, and someone from the outside can pretty quickly grasp it. And that's why I think that Python is such a great language to start with, and learning to develop games is actually a pretty good way to embark on your journey as a programmer, because it will cover a lot of topics. It's actually somewhat exciting and rewarding to make your first video game. And so obviously that's good.